Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Apply Kansas Site Coordinator Training for Fall 2024. We're actually recording this training in April to be viewed now and into the summer months before we really kick off Apply Kansas training events in the fall. So we've added this training based on the Apply Kansas Site Coordinators feedback. Some of you wanted to get some training and updates early, so you could make plans now for next year's event. So thank you for that feedback. It does make a difference. Some new items and additional updates for this year. We are going to continue holding the in-person Apply Kansas trainings, where there will be plenty of opportunities to share ideas, plus get some swag and see what's new around each campus. Those are some awesome events to attend, but there will also be virtual opportunities, which I'm calling innovative gatherings, which will be held around September. This is an opportunity to share and learn from others as well. There are a couple ways to access today's presentation. First is on the Kansas Board of Regents website. And I'll also email it out to those of you who have registered for the Apply Kansas 2024 as a site as well. So you can go to the link there, Apply Kansas, and then also you can click on the site coordinator information. It'll be linked at both locations there. My name is Misty Knox. I am our state's coordinator for the application completion effort. I'm glad to be here today to talk with y'all about our state's college application completion event called Apply Kansas, which is part of the American College Application Campaign. The short version of that is ACAC. So if we refer to that, you'll know what I'm talking about. I'm excited to have with us a couple of guest speakers, two of our state's ACAC School of Excellence award winners from Lebo Waverly and Highland Park High School. Janella Newton is with us from Lebo Waverly, and Miss Ross, she's here from Highland Park. They're going to tell us a little bit about their Apply Kansas event. They received the School of Excellence award based on their Apply Kansas efforts and impact. So pretty exciting. Congratulations to them. But it's just going to show you every event is unique based on the size, in your situation, and you can make it what you want it to be. To find out a little bit about y'all and who all we have in attendance today, if you could put in the chat if you're a high school counselor, college access professional, work for college or university, any others I've missed, and then if you've hosted an event, been part of an event, and how long you've been hosting those events. So this campaign, it's a national one. Schools and organizations across the nation host college application completion events. In fact, there's a network of state coordinators who meet regularly to share ideas and discuss best practices to take back to their states. The national effort's been housed at the ACT Center for Equity in Learning since 2019. Some states have connected their application completion events to other efforts that help students learn about, enroll in, and succeed in college. Each state, the program might be called something different, but they're all connected to ACAC, and that means that every host site and every student participating in one of these events is part of something much bigger, definitely a national effort. Apply Kansas joined the national campaign then in 2015. Just a quick data point here for you, or actually, first, before we move on to the data point, in this campaign, when we say college, what we mean is any form of education beyond high school. That includes 2-year, 4-year colleges. It also includes certificate programs and apprenticeships. We believe that there's a post-secondary pathway for all students, and our goal is to, in partnership with educators and organizations like yours, support each student in navigating that journey. So Apply Kansas campaign supports all students with their future plans. You'll hear me say that a few times throughout this presentation. But moving on to the data point, just a bit of research for you. Dr. Donna Ginther, she's a distinguished professor of economics and director for the Institute for Policy and Social Research at KU. She conducted research showing that from 2020 to 2030, Kansas is projected to add 54,000 new jobs. And you can see the breakdown there in those new jobs. And I also linked that research for you as well there at the bottom. And all these links will be live. Once you receive this presentation, you'll be able to click on all these links and have access to them as well. But she stated most new jobs are going to require some post-secondary credential. And then on top of that, another 180,000 jobs that require a post-secondary degree will have the incumbent exit the labor force due to retirement or moving out of Kansas, making a total of 234,000 jobs that will need to be filled with new graduates over the next over the 10-year span. So what is Apply Kansas? Apply Kansas is our annual statewide campaign in which high schools conduct events to help seniors apply to college with their peers and with assistance and a cheering squad, if you will, from school staff, local community supporters, and post-secondary volunteers. Apply Kansas is a month long. It's a statewide initiative. It's to increase the number of students applying, enrolling, and succeeding in college and other post-secondary goals. So as a part of the campaign, schools and community-based organizations host events during the school day in which 12th graders have the opportunity to receive the help they need and just as critically be celebrated for their efforts. The campaign has a focus on supporting students who are systemically underserved, those who are from low-income families, those who are first generation or the first in their families to attend college, and those who may need an added layer of support to begin and complete the college application process. Sometimes that can be rather daunting for some students, and we certainly want to support them in their efforts. The students need you during this time. Certainly takes one item off of their task list as a senior, which is super helpful. By making the events grade-wide with an eye toward especially inviting those students who may have been historically underserved, host sites can actively increase the number of these students who are making plans to continue their education after high school and support all students with their post-secondary plans. At many sites, it's a pretty exciting annual tradition, something that the community and families, as well as students, look forward to and get excited about. For most schools and organizations, hosting Apply Kansas is typically no cost. If a site wants to do something above and beyond, by all means, absolutely do that. Site coordinators typically invite volunteers to be on site and help students with their applications. Some will request donations for different items, giveaways, and such, but very few spend money to host their event. So just a few high points here. Just as I had mentioned on the last slide, a few recommendations. I highly recommend inviting colleges and community partners to support your event. They get excited about that as well. And then Apply Kansas is an application event, not a recruiting event. It's an opportunity to support all students with their post-secondary plans. And we want to celebrate all applications for post-high school. So as I mentioned, Apply Kansas celebrates all applications and pathways after high school. And you can kind of see the breakdown here and the impact of Apply Kansas. So in 2023, your Apply Kansas campaigns have made a big impact. Our data continues to be positive, continues to grow. We've increased school participation by 22%. We've increased student participation by 17% from prior year, and you can access that annual report there. But just some exciting ways that we are making an impact and making a difference in students' lives. That 11,890 seniors, those are student lives that are truly have been impacted due to this effort. Apply free days. So in planning your Apply Kansas event, the Apply free days will be October 7th through the 9th, 2024. Some notes here, not all of our Kansas colleges and universities have application fees. Applying to the 19 community colleges across our state is free every day, all year around. Also, Pittsburgh State, Washburn, and Emporia State removed their application fees, so students can apply there for free every day. Many of the private colleges and universities, you can see linked down there where it says Kansas Independent College Association. Many of those colleges do not have application fees either. Visit their website for more information. As this gets a little closer, I will send out some additional resources to help you with your Apply Free Day event as well. A few pointers, I guess, as you navigate the Apply Free Days, I recommend being intentional and filling out applications to colleges. It's very important for students to have backup plans, so certainly apply to multiple colleges, but want to discourage applying to colleges with no intent or interest. That just wastes some resources and time that could be dedicated to assisting interested students. So each institution has staff specifically dedicated to processing each individual application. So that takes quite a bit of time. So with that said, colleges are super busy during this time. They're backed up during these dates and a week or so after these dates. So just extend some grace during this window. They're trying to help and support, but certainly are very backed up. Processing times are also going to be backed up. I recommend some positive communication to students. It's great for students to communicate that they are not planning to attend or maybe don't have interest in an institution anymore. They can do that by not only unsubscribing to emails, but also telling their recruiter. Recruiters like to know that way they can be aware and not be bothering, the students. Students don't have to decide where they're going until really spring, but certainly recommend continuing to go through the process and meet the deadlines. Once the application's filled out, then progressing to the scholarship application. Make sure they don't miss out on any of those opportunities, and then housing from there and so on. Hosting an Apply Kansas event. So October is our state's college application month. However, feel free to host your event in September, even through early November. Do what works best for your school. Really, the intent here is to help all students and support all students. So Apply Kansas is a school day event where all students can and are encouraged to participate. Your event can be as simple or as complex as you make it. Totally up to you, your situation, your school, your students. Once you register as an Apply Kansas site, you will be included in all the announcements, including ordering swag, upcoming trainings, and so forth. Into their Promote Your Event. We'll talk about why Apply Day here in just a few. Promote the event also, extend that to not only students, but also families and other stakeholders. And then 3, prepare your seniors before the event. Just listed a few pointers there for you. And then host your event. That's the most exciting part, supporting your students and then hosting. And from there, complete the student sign-out survey or however you wish to collect your student data. This is the required component that you will submit after your event. It's actually due December 1st. We'll talk about that here in a moment. Don't forget to celebrate your students for their achievements, and then you'll turn the corner to preparing for the FAFSA. I want to take a few minutes to highlight a couple of the awesome events going on throughout our state. First up, we're going to hear from Janella Newton. She is with Lebo Waverly, and she'll talk to us a little bit about her event.
Okay, I really was listening. It's pre-enroll or picking classes for next fall and, meeting individually, and they have questions. I don't know why, whatever. Anyway, so this was something, our event that we didn't do it for several years because I'm like, okay, this year between my 2 schools, I have 24 seniors total. That is it. So I'm like, I was like, we need to do this to include more people. There's no reason for all of us small schools to do this on our own. So I talked to Flint Hills Technical College and asked them if they would be willing to be our host site. And I would do all the work and get the things and do all the inviting, and if they would just be the host site. And they were all on board. Their technology department, you can see that in the background, they do the graphics for us, and they have that up so we can take pictures. We've had an array of college reps come to ours. So, and we had the most students the first year because we included, and we invite all of our people from our consortium, from the Flint Hills Technical College Consortium. But the first year, Council Grove brought all their seniors. Well, then from that, they decided that they wanted to do their own. And I'm like, absolutely, go do your own. I'm glad. But they wanted that little bit of seeing how hard it was or how easy it was before they jumped off and did it. So we kind of got that started as well. But we have done this, and it works really well. Again, what I think the draw is for ours is I fill out all the data. So I go through all the surveys, the ending surveys, and I fill out the data for each school. So they still get the recognition, but they don't have to do any of the work, so to speak. And I don't mind that, because truly it is not that hard to fill out that data, especially if you use that little Google Doc for a survey. The kids just fill it out and it's done. The things are done. So one thing I did include this year that helped a lot was I had our kids fill out their FSA ID. So I had them do that at our event. Now, who knows what FAFSA is going to look like next year or in the future, because we've all been struggling with it right now. They've made it to the top of my bad list. They replaced ACT. Sorry, ACT, but you got to get some things fixed. Anyway, but they all had their FSA ID, and we walked them through that, and then they were able to help their parents get their FSA ID. So I feel like that was very helpful to them. If they open earlier, we'll just have to see what happens with the FAFSA stuff, but that's pretty much it. I also include snacks and drinks because the kids like to have the snacks and drinks, and we of course make them take pictures to all the colleges they applied of the reps that are present. So I believe last year we had Emporia State, Washburn, Neosho County, and of course Flint Hills Technical College there. So, but we've also had Kansas Wesleyan came one year, McPherson's came one year, KU and K-State have been there, but it just doesn't always work out, and that's fine. But we expect our reps to help the kids fill out the applications, and they are all very good to help, even if they're not applying to their college. That's what I've gotten. So that's it. And if anybody has any questions, I'm more than happy to answer anytime.
I love that, Janella. Thank you so much for sharing and joining us today. We'll have some opportunities for question and answers here after a bit. Want to move right along to our next guest. We have with us today Highland Park High School, Miss Ross, and she will outline her event, a little larger school, so you can kind of see the difference there. And again, every event is very unique across the state.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Hi, Marissa. I would like to say, first of all, I'm excited about the new FAFSA that I know that's probably saying, what is she talking about? I said, I'm excited about it because it's given us an opportunity to not only educate the children, but also the parents. This is the largest number of parent engagement that I've had since I've been at Highland Park. Of course, this is just my second year, but there's still a lot to do with the FAFSA. And I do piggyback with you, Janella, that ACT is now second, but we're going to move on. So our event, we held it in October, which is a standard time. We do it in October for the Apply Kansas event. Prior to the event, I just get out flyers. I put it on the morning announcements. I connect with our community employers, with our universities, our tech schools, and I just run a list of who's confirming and who's not confirming. And then we do it that way. This year we had 27 total vendors. That includes colleges, tech schools, community colleges, and local businesses within the city. We had, this year it was different because we didn't have as many Kansas schools. We had schools coming from Central State, Missouri. We had Truman University, Rockhurst. So, but we still had like our majors like KU, K-State, Emporia, Fort Hays. We also had Flint Hills wasn't here for the fall. They were here for the spring. But we had Washburn Tech, Midwest Barber College, and then that's all held in our media center. We also have a section just for FAFSA, and we have an upward bound person, point of contact here, Raven Meadows, who came in and spearheaded our FAFSA piece. So the kids go on rotations. There's 20 minutes in each rotation, from one station to the next. And in one of those stations is taking care of the FSA ID. And of course, we couldn't go into the FAFSA application until December, but we really worked on getting the FSA ID created. Then we leave that area and go to our gym area. And that's where we have our employers, because I'm recognizing that being in a Title I school, everyone is not college material. Everyone doesn't want to go to college. So I want to have it a diverse process where everyone has an opportunity to see what their possibilities are. So we have our local businesses on the other side. Along with this year, we had a lot of entrepreneurs that came to our event as well. So with the Apply Kansas, of course, we went ahead and did that piece. The kids took their pictures with the colleges that they applied for. And then from that, we do a survey. And this is what I did last year, but we do the survey. And from the survey, I'm able to abstract information, new ideas for the students and also for our vendors. We not only stop in the fall, we also do it in the spring as well. So I do another fair in the springtime, which is still focused on applying to college, getting your FAFSA done. And then, of course, we have those who are not interested in college, and we have employers. And employers are working with us to the point where kids are able to apply and get jobs on site. So I'm really excited about that. So this year, I think we really did good. Fort Hays was in the house, of course, yay. But we really had an amazing turnout. So the way I'm looking at it now is that if they can't participate in the fall, I'm going to pull them in the spring, and they'll respond and say, yes, Ms. Ross, we will be there in the spring. We couldn't make it in the fall. But how did I start this? I started with a community site team meeting. I start in March, and it's a way that I go around in the summertime and I reach out to different universities, different businesses to find out if they would be interested in coming to our community site team.
Right, I think maybe we lost her. Maybe she's frozen. Oh,
Frozen on my end too.
okay. We'll navigate back here in just a few once she comes back on. But certainly some great things happening at Harlan Park High School, and then also Lebo Waverly. Gosh, thank you guys so much. There is so much greatness happening across the state with Apply Kansas. So I certainly want to recognize all the events across the state and everything y'all do for students. Move right along for the moment, and then we'll catch back up with her here in just a few.
I think
Okay.
she's back.
I'm back.
She's back.
And so that really was my outreach strategy, was reaching out to the community. And of course, the college representatives are amazing. This year, Washburn has been the godsend as it pertains to FAFSA. They have really helped us. We were able to we provided 4 FAFSA night events here at the school for parents who were not able to make it to the Apply Kansas event. Because I believe that if parents are not connected, I mean, let me say this another way. They really want to know what's going on, but how are we reaching them to inform them? So I do make a lot of phone calls. I do send out a lot of emails. But I just believe that that's the groundwork in making it a success. So yeah, and those are our kids. Many of them have signed with schools, with sports in the state of Kansas. A few of them have decided to go to other schools in other states, which is fine. But the rest of them, I think, are Washburn, K-State, KU, Emporia, and Fort Hays bound. Yeah. Okay.
That's
That's all I have. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So not only did she talk about her Apply Kansas event, but she also talked about the other events that she's hosting to be an all-star high school. So we'll talk about that here in just a minute. Thanks for all that insight. I just really appreciate what y'all are doing. So as we've mentioned, some required components, I guess, if you will, in terms of Apply Kansas is make this event your own. We'll give you all the resources in such that you need to make your event, run your event a certain way. K through 12 schools, community organizations, libraries, and more can host an event and help. But since there's many different ways to have a successful Apply Kansas campaign, we only require you to include 3 components on your event. Every event across the country should include these same tenets. The first one is Apply Kansas is for all seniors in every high school, and it's our job to ensure we create specific content to reach and support first generation and low income students of color and other seniors who may not otherwise apply to college. Then the second item, collect the summary data from all seniors participating in Apply Kansas. The way you do that is totally up to you. We'll talk more about the data process when we get to the nuts and bolts of the Apply Kansas event here in just a few. Third, celebrate from a university application to a job application, everything in between. Apply Kansas seeks to encourage students to find their best path after high school graduation and celebrate the choices of all of our seniors. Our goal is to remove barriers to post-secondary education, let the student lead the process, and when in doubt, err on the side of encouraging the student to stretch beyond their potential. There
Okay,
are
Missy,
quite a few.
sorry to interrupt. I just want to remind you that I have a meeting at 1:30, which is here in the next couple minutes. So I just wanted to see if it would be possible to maybe jump ship a little bit to JPACAC so I can get to my meeting as well.
Absolutely. Thanks for that reminder. I'd totally forgotten. So we have Marissa with us today. She's from Fort Hays State University. Pretty excited to have her with us, but she's going to talk to us a little bit about some college resources really quick. Here you are. The floor is yours,
Hey.
Marissa.
Thanks, Misty. Sorry to kind of interrupt and hijack everybody. I
Thank you.
appreciate you allowing me to do this. I have a meeting on campus that I have to get to. So wanted to make sure that I could talk a little bit to you guys about ACAC. This is a great resource for honestly, college counselors, high school counselors, and honestly, it's going to be great for your students in turn as well. So ACAC stands for the Great Plains Association for College Admission Counseling. And it is actually over 3 states. So it is over Kansas, Oklahoma, and Nebraska. So it's kind of a regional organization. So kind of just starting out with that, that is one big benefit, is being a part of a regional organization to allow to extend your resources, right? Meet other high school counselors that are going through the same thing as you, kind of pick their brains on how they do things, kind of like maybe some events that they host or helping their students apply, so on and so forth. Make connections with other schools, not even just like within the state of Kansas, but with our surrounding areas. And especially great for, I know Ms. Ross, you kind of mentioned that you're having a lot of out-of-state schools kind of come to those Apply Kansas events. And so great to kind of get those out-of-state from Oklahoma and Nebraska through ACAC to come for your students as well. And then you also get the ability to attend their college fairs. So ACAC does host their own college fairs. So if you are a member, you definitely obviously get to go to those college fairs, and it's just an added recruitment opportunity for your students to go see other schools and what they have, kind of go to different fairs. They do also host conferences, so it is a very good thing for like professional development for college counselors and also high school counselors as well. So you have some professional development opportunities, some travel opportunities also to go to some of their conferences. And then the big part, I think, is they do have scholarships, not only for your students, but they have grants for high school counselors to basically provide that funding to go to those conferences and to go to those professional development. So if it's something where funding is an issue for you all to go to these conferences, you could get a grant essentially to pay your way and get that professional development under your belt, which is really awesome. So they do have scholarships for your students as well. And they give out, they fund about 10 annual scholarships. So each scholarship is $1,000 one-time award. So it's still a good chunk of money for those students, especially if you're thinking about schools like Fort Hays, right? Our cost is super affordable. So $1,000 scholarship is going to go a very long way for those students. So they have about 10 of those. And one of them is actually kind of specific for, whether or not their high school counselor is a member of ACAC. So if you guys are a member, it could essentially give your students an added chance to get some extra scholarship money as well. So, added benefits, just all in all, affiliated with a regional organization, kind of expanding your resources, expanding your network and connections with other college counselors and other high school counselors from across the states of Kansas, Oklahoma, and Nebraska. You have professional development opportunities with conferencing, and you have some scholarships for your students and some grants for you all as high school counselors to go to those conferences as well. So small amount of benefits. There's obviously going to be a ton of other benefits, and I encourage you guys to check out their website. They go into a lot of different information on the scholarships and the grants and the deadline dates and everything like that. So I encourage you to absolutely check out their website and reach out to me if you have any questions.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks for letting me hop in and out of your meeting. And it was very good to see you, Janella and Miss Roz.
Okay.
Have
Thank
a
you
good
for
rest
that
of your day, guys.
information.
Yeah, I'm
for
glad
those
I could help.
resources. Yes.
Yes, a lot of good extra resources for not only, your students, but for you and for us as
Mhm.
college counselors as well. So definitely encourage looking into it and thinking about joining and being a member.
Okay.
All right. Have a good rest of your day, you guys.
You too. We're going to circle back. Hopefully we can remember where we were at. All right, so there's a plethora of resources on the KBOR website. So what I do is I sift through the resources from ACAC and provide you with the most pertinent information. please keep in mind that the website is going to be continually updated as we turn the corner for fall 2024. So the nuts and bolts of collecting and reporting your data. So your site data is due to me by December 1st. How you collect it again is totally up to you, but certainly survey all of your students towards the end of the semester in order to get that data to me by December 1st. And then submit your data to Apply Kansas, so to me. And then feel free to use your data to share the success of your senior class and your event to all of your stakeholders. The data you report is then reported to various groups across the state, committees, councils in Kansas. You can see here a portion of that Apply Kansas annual report and impact on your screens now. You can also use the Google form and or QR code with your students. Again, this link right here, the survey is live. Once you actually get that, you can make a copy of it and share it out as well. So as you'd heard from a couple of our guests about their FAFSA events, All-Star High Schools is a pretty awesome recognition. One of the required components of being an All-Star High School is your Apply Kansas event. All-Star High Schools receive quite a few award opportunities. There's a presentation at our Kansas Board of Regents meeting. They're also recognized at a Kansas State Department of Ed board meeting as well. They receive the recognition there, and then we send them a banner if they already have a banner because they've been an all-star high school in previous years. We send a sticker that they can place on that banner. We also do recognition over social media. So pretty exciting recognition. I know teachers and administration, as well as students and families, get excited about seeing their school in the news on social media and being recognized. So awesome publicity there as well. So Apply Kansas, those events are typically held in October. And then the other required events to be an all-star high school are the FAFSA completion event and then also a senior signing day. So for the FAFSA completion events, some schools do these in conjunction with their Apply Kansas events. Many schools team up with local higher ed institutions in their community. They invite families to receive one-on-one assistance in completing their FAFSA application. How they're organized is totally up to your school, your family's needs, and so forth. But schools offer these events anytime after the application window opens in typical years after October 1st, and then offer some sort of event for the completion efforts. And then some schools will additionally offer an event again a few times throughout the year, maybe to catch any stragglers or help any families who might be stuck in a process or reluctant to complete the form. College signing day. This is a pretty exciting event. Again, formatted however works best for your school. So this is kind of similar to an athletic signing ceremony. It's for graduating seniors. Many universities require students to accept their offers of application by May 1st. So this is an opportunity for counselors to celebrate the decision of the entire senior class through bulletin boards, parties with treat bags, maps, signing posters, other activities, totally, again, up to you. Each senior indicates what their post-secondary graduation plans are on the poster or what have you, and each decision is then celebrated and hopefully shared with the greater school community. Certainly a fun way to encourage and highlight all the decisions and equalize the different paths and to show underclassmen where their peers are going after high school. Last year, we had 97 all-star high schools in 2022, 2023. As I mentioned, today it's April right now. So we are still in the process of all-star high school for this year. Some schools are still completing some FAFSA events, as well as senior signing day happens typically around May. Why Apply Day is also an opportunity that really supports the Apply Kansas initiative. This year, the Why Apply Day is Friday, September 20th, 2024. It's a national event to promote a college-going atmosphere, really, and also to promote Apply Kansas. So it's to, again, create a college-going environment in your school, get your teachers, staff, administration involved. They get it really excited about this as well, sharing their story and their why. Why did they decide on their post-secondary pathway? And then sharing that with students. Sometimes these are posted in a certain location in a school or posted on the teacher's door or, what have you. Totally up to you, your school. And then college resources, we were able to hear from Marissa on some great opportunities there for an organization. I also want to post all the links here for Kansas Board of Regents resources, tons of resources on there. And again, I am updating that almost every day. So certainly adding more resources, refining some resources. So I would just direct you to quite a few resources there. There will be additional college lesson resources and even guidance lesson resources posted here relatively soon. So next steps, make sure you are registered as an Apply Kansas school. Check the list of registrations that have already been completed. If you're not on there, just go ahead and register for Apply Kansas in 2024. Be a part of a great opportunity. I'm certainly open to questions at this time and any ideas, share ideas on your Apply Kansas event. I'm open to any ideas you have to improve. My goal today was to stay under an hour. We're at about 51 minutes, I think, right now. So some of the surveys and you guys' feedback said you wanted a shorter training. So here we are, first training, and we accomplished the goal. So thank you all for coming today. And again, I'll open it for questions.